Alrighty. Right now we're going to do spaghetti squash. So first thing you got to do is get it cut, which is not, as you see, the easiest things to do. The easiest thing to do. Now I got to get the knife out. Wrestle and match. Wow, it really don't want to come out. So be very careful when you're doing this. I don't know how I got stuck in there, but okay, got it. Almost got it. Start again. So I'm not going to put it so deep down. This is the hardest part of cooking spaghetti squash, is they're very hard to cut. There we go. Got it. Almost.
But I've heard other, young people who were young black men and women at that time saying that just watching.
If you've never eaten spaghetti squash, give it a try. It's very, very good. Now, all right, got it. Okay. Yeah. So now what I do is I take a little olive oil and I put a little on top. Some people do, some people don't. If you don't use oils at all, stay away from it. But I like to put a little bit just to brown it up here. I mean, it's less than a teaspoon on the whole squash that we put. Alright, that's the oven you hear preheating. I put it on 350. So then I'll take you over here and show you what I'm going to do. Alright, I'm putting mine on a sheet. You can use foil. You can just put it straight on the pan. Okay, and then you flip it on over. Just like this. And then you have to make a few knife cuts. Okay, so that it cooks through and it releases the steam when it's cooking. That's it, easy peasy. We put it in the oven for about, we put this in the oven, I would say, for about, I don't know, 35-40 minutes.
When they ship with us, their business becomes our business.
And then it will be done. And I'm going to make some sauce to put on the top, and I'll show you that. So I shall be back shortly. Show you these. These are all the kabochos that I just got done making too. That's in another video if you want to watch how to make kabocha. Alright. Okay guys, so we're cutting our onion. My battery went dead again on my camera, so I have it plugged in. I was in the middle of showing you how to cut an onion. So you slice Let's see if you can see. You slice like this, and then you slice here, give it another slice, then slice like this, and then when you go to slice it, see it's already cut into the pieces that you'll need, and then in the end you just have a few little pieces that you have to cut here. Okay, it's really simple. Just be very careful. Use a sharp knife and be very careful. It takes a while to get your cutting skills, but you will. So I'm putting this in a pan with some water, sauteing it right here. Okay. I think I'm going to use my whole onion. So like I was saying in my other very short video before the camera died, only takes a very short amount of time to cut up your Trinity, as it's called. Trinity would be onions, garlic, some celery. Depending upon where you're from, Louisiana, they're the ones that call it Trinity. And that's it. Some peppers, I think they put some green peppers. Alright, easy peasy. Done. Doesn't have to be special, doesn't have to be special shape, sizes. Just get it a little small. Onions always cook right down. Garlic. Gonna put some garlic. And I like garlic. You probably only want to put like maybe 2 bulbs of this. 2 pieces, actually. I think the bulbs is the whole entire garlic. But, so anyway, 2 pieces of garlic. We have to be politically right in everything that we say, so I'm going to try to give you what it's right, what is right, exactly the garlic's called. Okay. So that's probably what you would use too. But now for me, cut off the ends. I always think it's easier. And then most of the time, your garlic will peel on its own when you cut off that small little piece there. So your onion is in the pan, frying up a little, or sauteing in some water. It's got a little mark, so I'm not going to use it. So I'm going to put onion, I'm going to put garlic, and I'm going to add mushroom, and then my spaghetti sauce, like a this is just like a marinara to put over my spaghetti squash. And it's delicious. Ugh. I just started eating spaghetti squash recently. I always used to say, like, you know, a lot of people do, ew. But I'll tell you, it's really good. It really is. If you have something like this growing out, just take it, cut it in half. And if there's a piece of green in the middle, you'll go ahead and cut that out. But I don't have any greens, so All right.
First question is this, and then the second and third question also.
So now we'll cut this up. Nothing to it. I make things easy. I don't like things hard. Just get her done. Do it right. Or get her done. Right? That's it. Look how long this has taken. Just a few minutes. And I'll have dinner on and cooking. Within 15 minutes, my dinner will be on, even less than that. And cooking. Sometimes certain things take longer, but spaghetti sauce, it does it. Now, when I get it all added to my pot, I do, of course, let it cook a while, but you don't have to let it cook too long. It used to be, they would say, cook your spaghetti sauce, or as my family called it, gravy. Cook your spaghetti sauce for a while, but then they found out the longer you cook spaghetti sauce, the more acid forms in the spaghetti sauce. So you don't really have to cook it that long. Cook your tomatoes down, let everything stew in the sauce, and then it's done. Maybe half an hour. My mom used to cook it the whole entire day. I come from an Italian background, so I love spaghetti the way she used to make it. It was really good, but today, for me, it's not the way to eat it. My mom used to add all kinds of meat to her spaghetti sauce. We would have chicken, meatballs, beef, you name it, she'd add it in there. Have a great big bowl of meat in the middle, then our gravy and our spaghetti. And that was done every Wednesday and Sunday without fail. So, of course, I don't do that any longer. Okay, I got my garlic cut up real nice. I'm gonna go ahead and add it to the pan, to the pot.
Well, it means that he believes that he has a movement here, and that he is trying to press on, it seems, on the way to Philadelphia. I will say that I think there's some
and I have,
there won't be a ton of pressure on him.
If you can see this or not, my kids got me this for Mother's Day, and it's been growing like crazy. It's not even a month yet, and I've actually had to take a lot of the leaves off. This is all basil, this is mint, this is cilantro, this is parsley, and then I have dill back there. But I've had to take a lot of the leaves off and dehydrate it, dry it out, and I have it all right here. So I don't know if you've ever seen one of these, but they are neat. They're called the Astro Garden, and everything grows actually in water there, and it's like the neatest thing ever. So I have a whole thing of basil, and this is dill, and I am going to add that to my sauce in just a little bit. I'll show you that. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and stir this.
Because of the superdelegates. He's going to make the case about pledged delegates, bound delegates, and say that those superdelegates should...
Okay, I don't fry it, like I said, in any oils, just water. What I'm going to do now is add...
No, it's not realistic at all.
And I always do this to give it taste. I'm going to add vegetable stock. But actually, I'm still going to saute it. I'm not done sauteing it yet. So I'm sauteing it with this broth.
support he's had, 45% of the vote roughly.
And then I also like to start adding some spices. Even though I have garlic chopped up, I still use some garlic.
That would be enough by his supporters if indeed they come up on the short end of the straw.
I'm going to use some onion powder.
It's going to be a tough thing, I think. We're all talking about the Republican Party.
And I'm going to use some Italian seasoning. And I'm going to put a couple bay leaves. I always like to put the bay leaves in while it's still sauteing. And even my spices, because when they get to fry a little bit, it brings out all the flavors. So I always put mine in when I'm sauteing, or a lot of times I do. I'm going to add some crushed pepper. And then I'm going to add my Italian seasoning.
New information on that story we've been following from the very beginning.
Then the other thing that you would add, and then of course salt if you like it. See? You see that? Then what you would add to get rid of the acid that forms from the sauce would be a carrot.
In Washington, on this story, Dad.
I'm Melissa. A federal appeals court has succeeded in doing what congressional Republicans have long tried to do.
The carrot absorbs all the acid. So if you don't have a carrot, you can always, I dropped that one, so we'll get another. Sticky fingers today. Okay, so I'll put this down here while I chop this a little. Okay. So I just want it big because I don't really want to eat carrots in my spaghetti sauce. So it's just to grab the spice, you know, the acid. All right, let me stir this up.
What the IRS put these groups through.
So I'll let this finish sauteing a bit, and I'll be right back when I add my tomato paste and tomato puree. Okay guys, I'm back. And I have some tomato paste that I had frozen, organic. I'm gonna go ahead and add that to my pan. Give you a little look here of my onions and garlic all fried up. So I'm gonna let this defrost just a second, let it brown just a little bit. I like to saute my tomato paste just a little. Sign up to immediately lower your deductible by $100. It brings out the flavor more. You give it a try and see if I'm not right. It really does. It gives it a flavor, a better flavor. And this savings applies to every vehicle on your policy. Call 1-888. That's always the way I was taught. We'll let that go. Now, instead of using tomato puree, I usually use tomato puree or tomato sauce or just tomatoes. I decided to use this. This is diced tomatoes with green chilies. I don't know, something different. Thought I'd give it a try. I'll be the only one eating it, so it sounded good to me. So if I'm the only one eating it, I can do what I want, right?
They do the dirty work for you. They do background checks.
But if I'm cooking for the whole family and stuff, then I gotta think of everybody else. But for now, I'm making it for me. Alright. I have this almost cooked down now to where I'd want it. I would actually let it cook just a little bit longer, but I want to show you guys what I'm doing. So there we go. And I'm gonna let this cook down for about 30 minutes. And when I'm done, I'll show you how it turned out. Looks good to me. All right, guys. See you soon. All right, guys. I took this spaghetti squash out of the oven. See how it browns up a little bit. Let me grab a fork and show you. Not quite ready to eat it yet, but here's the inside. You'll remove all this. And here's how it comes out just like spaghetti. Look at this. Isn't this crazy? It's delicious. And then there's the sauce. It's, I guess you could call this gravy chunky. I did put some mushrooms and then I put my fresh basil. I'll show you guys when I make my plate. All right.